Hey, good evening, guys and girls. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys and girls for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys and girls, this literally does not work. Let's reopen for business here. And let's wake up the football. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Wake up. Oh, there we go. The little antenna there moved a little out of the way. Okay, so it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. This season is been terrible. We all know it's been awful, and to me, I actually come to the realization that it's just 2020. Okay, 2020 has been a lost year for all of us. I think about the time that you'd like to be able to spend with friends and family and all that stuff, and that time has been lost. So why shouldn't our season be lost too? I mean, we've lost everything else. It's just 2020, and maybe somehow, some way, we can start getting next year on track. And the training camp start in August. Maybe we'll be in better position than we are right now. Who knows? I know nothing anymore. But the thing that's funny to me is, for some reason, when we get things that work, people say it's not good enough, but things that don't work, oh, that's okay. We'll keep doing that over and over again. Case in point is I keep seeing everybody that keeps saying, the Cowboys don't pay Dak. We'll take that money and we'll spend it elsewhere because, that will fix the team. That always works because the Cowboys are always great at spending a whole bunch of money, right? Because they say, we'll just draft another quarterback. We'll just get one. You can get a quarterback. We'll get a discount quarterback. In fact, I had the reason why this came up to me was I was reading an article earlier today, and what the person said inside the Star. An argument can be made for the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't be wrong to go one way or the other, moving on from a known commodity like Dak Prescott for an unknown one, no matter how highly rated they are coming out of the draft. No doubt carries a bit of a. Sorry, let me back up. Highly rated, they are coming out of the draft. No doubt carries a little bit of risk. However, the small risk involved could be offset by the amount of salary cap space created by having your starting quarterback as a rookie on a rookie contract. So he's saying that there's a little there's a little chance that it might not work, but you got cash, so you'll be in great shape. As much as I like Dak Prescott, I'd be hard-pressed not to draft one of those top quarterbacks in the 21 draft if I were the Cowboys. That previously mentioned, the $31 million in savings could have been utilized to upgrade several of the needed positions with a surefire caliber free agent. In doing so, that would lessen the need to hit on so many draft picks, although those remain extremely important. So he's saying, instead of paying Dak, we'll take that $31 million and we will go ahead and we will get some surefire talent. Because we know what you got when you get a free agent. Wasn't Emerson Griffin considered one of the... I mean, he got 8 sacks. Wasn't he really, really good, when we paid him? Wasn't Brandon Carr? Wasn't Greg Hardy? I mean, Greg Hardy cost us like $9 million for, 12 games? And a fight with the coach? There is no guarantees. I mean, Washington thought Albert Hainsworth was going to translate their defensive line, and he ended up laying his fat ass on the ground while Michael Vick ran circles around him. You know what I'm saying? There is no sure bet guarantees in the draft and so on. But here's where we'll go. I want to go through and I want to revisit the Colin Cowherd. This was when the Cowboys were trying to get a deal done with Dak. This is like last summer before the season. and he was going through and listing all the quarterbacks that he said that were better than Dak, that he'd take over Dak Prescott. Let's listen in and see where these guys stand right now.
Or Dak, which quarterback, take out the big four, next 5 years, because the contract's going to be a 4 or 5 year, who would you take? Here we go.
All right.
Next 5 years.
Would you rather have Carson Wentz or Dak?
That is one of the easier ones today. I'd take Carson Wentz. Now, I think Carson Wentz and Patrick Mahomes, in terms of size, leadership, arm strength, are transformational players. The difference is Mahomes got to sit for a year, learn under Alex Smith, had Andy Reid. Carson Wentz had to play, got hurt again. Wentz, to me, is a different level of talent.
Ooh.
I only put Mahomes in his class in terms of size, arm, athletic, mobility, smarts, pre-snap, coachability. I think Wentz is a totally different class of quarterback.
I think for the injuries, I'm taking Dak. Would you rather have Goff or Dak?
Again, I sometimes I don't get the criticism of certain players. I would take Goff. He throws outside of Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes, one of the best deep ball throwers in the league. If you like Matt Ryan, how do you not like Jared Goff? He's a better arm. He's basically, yes, he needs a better offensive line. He's not terribly athletic. Either's Tom Brady. Jared Goff's really good. Well, he's got Sean McVay. Find me the great quarterback with a nothing burger as head coach. They don't exist. Every good quarterback. Marino, Shula, Brady Belichick, they all have good quarterbacks. Yes, Goff is elevated by Sean McVay. So is Garoppolo with Kyle Shanahan. You don't think Dak's elevated by that offensive line, Zeke, Amari? You don't think it helps a little bit? So I would take Goff over Dak.
I also would take Goff. Would you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo or Dak?
It's close. This morning, I'd take Dak.
Okay. All right.
I think Dak is a better athlete. Dak doesn't have 2 injuries. I like Garoppolo, and that's how I feel about Dak. I like Dak, but I was really disturbed by Jimmy Garoppolo and the adult film star in Beverly Hills. Come on. You're a franchise quarterback. I don't love that judgment, and that kind of off-field judgment has sometimes worried me about his throwing judgment. So this is really close, but if you're talking availability, athletic, Garoppolo's got a better arm, but sometimes Jimmy's off-field, non-field judgment has been immature. I'd take slightly, very, very slightly, Dak.
I'm also taking Dak there. Would you rather have Matt Ryan or Dak?
I asked the staff not to put this one up. Let me come back to this one later.
Okay.
I got a lot of stuff I'm still filing through on that one.
Okay. Would you rather have Deshaun Watson or Dak?
Okay, this may surprise you. But in this instance, it's like Garoppolo. It's an inch. I think I'd take Dak, and here's why. Because you're asking me next 5 years. Deshaun, the knock on Dak, he's not really a natural thrower. I completely agree. I don't think Deshaun's a great natural thrower. I worry that Dak is an ascending player. I worry that Deshaun Watson sort of plays one way, and the way he plays is going to put him into harm's way. Like a lot of quarterbacks, Russell Wilson now runs less. Russell could play 2 ways. I can run and win. I can pocket and rarely run and win. Steve Young did that. I can win running. I can win passing. I wonder if Deshaun Watson's way to win is why he gets dinged up. Like, this is the way he plays. And I worry that I think Dak can win more ways. Strictly pocket. He's not the athlete, Deshaun. So, again, this is narrow by an inch. I think I'd take Dak.
Would you rather have Derek Carr or Dak?
Derek's a better natural thrower. He's had a major injury. Derek's really funny. First of all, I think Derek's a franchise quarterback. Can we stop about trading Derek Carr? He's a franchise quarterback. He is a better natural thrower. He reminds me a lot of Tony Romo. But I would say there's an availability, there's a leadership thing, there's a toughness thing, there's a mobility thing. I'd take Dak.
I also am taking Dak there. Would you rather have Lamar Jackson or Dak?
Dak. I'll tell you why. Folks, I like Lamar, but Miami and Arizona do not a career make, okay? The other thing about it is Dak's a bigger, stronger athlete. Lamar, to this point, has been an excellent runner and has beaten two lousy teams. Lamar's only played one team twice, the Chargers, and by the second time, they figured him out. Everybody's seen Dak now. He's faced the Steelers. He's faced the Eagles multiple times, the Giants multiple times. Okay, Dak's seen everybody 2 and 3 times, and he's beating people 2 and 3 times. Lamar has not proven to me he can beat Pittsburgh, Cleveland, facing them twice a year. I am still not 100% sold on Lamar as a 5-year. Is he going to be here starting in 5 years? I think with Dak, I know.
Big game for him Sunday against the Chiefs to see how good he really is. Would you rather have Sam Darnold or Dak? Well,
athletically, I think Darnold's better. Arm, I think Darnold's slightly better. Actually, he is better arm. Now, the difference is I take Sam Darnold. The offensive line's a mess. He inherited garbage. I still think Sam Darnold's fantastic, but he's got mono. His head coach, Adam Gase, and Greg Williams, I'm told, do not get along. It's bad ownership. So unlike Dak that inherited the best offensive line in the league in Zeke, I think Darnold's going to have to, over time, in the next 5 years, at some point, we will all acknowledge in the next 5, okay, Darnold's better. It will not look like that for the next year. And so this goes to the Kobe and Shaq trade years ago. The Lakers kept the right guy, Kobe. But for 2 years, Shaq was winning a title. And so I had to eat a dirt sandwich and say, okay, no. Kobe was long-term the better player, the healthier player, the more committed player. It's going to take a couple years. Darnold's better than Dak.
I'm taking Dak. You love Sam Darnold. Really, Greg Williams and Adam Gase don't get along?
Can't stand each other. I've been told they can't stand each other. They just don't talk in the hallways.
Oh, I love the Jets. All right, would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Dak?
I like Dak. I literally, people roll their eyes at this. Maturity, who would you rather have? Leadership, size, athletic ability? Now, Baker's a way better thrower, but I've said before, everybody questions, why do you bang on Baker? I say the same thing. You don't think off-field bad judgment ever translates to on-field? Doesn't he lead the NFL in picks since he started? Isn't that a judgment thing? Like the police video, judgment thing? Like that. None of that stuff now matters. It mattered with Manziel. Okay. It mattered with Jameis Winston. It doesn't matter at all. Like, judgment doesn't matter at
all. Right, so we've gone through enough of that for you. Okay, so here's the thing. What I look at is this. What you're saying is you know what? We know we got this guy. Now just humor me for a second here. He said Carson Wentz was about equal to Pat Mahomes. You know, Mr. 12 for 12. 12 TDs, 12 interceptions. Fumble Rooski. Eagles coach literally had to defend Carson Wentz today from Brett Favre saying they messed up and they should have kept Nick Foles. Eagle fans will say maybe Hurts should be the one playing right now. Carson Wentz is not the same guy that he was in 2017. I think part of that is Frank Wright, but you can't look and say Carson Wentz is head and shoulders better. You know, a couple of years ago, you would have said that's the bet. That's the guy, even with the injuries. Not so much now. Here's an amazing thing. And I know this video is getting kind of long, but hey, what else you got to do today? This is an NFL quarterback ranking. Midway through the season. Russell Wilson, number 1. Pat Mahomes, number 2. Aaron Rodgers, number 3. Number 4, a guy who hasn't played in over 3 weeks, Dak Prescott. Prescott suffered a catastrophic ankle injury in Week 5, but he certainly deserves mention for how he's performed to that point. He threw for 1,856 yards with 9 TDs in 5 games, leading the league with a 371 yards passing per contest. With falls off at quarterback in Dallas after the team lost, Prescott has only been giving more ammunition in contract negotiations. Number 5, Matt Ryan. Number 6, Tom Brady. Number 7, Deshaun Watson. Number 8, Lamar Jackson. Number 9, Ryan Tannehill. Number 10, Drew Brees. 11, Josh Allen. Number 12, Derek Carr. Number 13, Big Ben. 14, Kyler Murray. 15, Matthew Stafford. 16, Justin Hubert. 17 is where you get to Jared Goff. I want to read this one. Goff wasn't quite the same last year, but the Rams hope he'll be able to bounce back in 2020. What we've seen so far from him between his 18-9 performance was inaccuracy from game to game. Goff is on pace for over 4,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, but his yards per attempt and QBR have improved. Phillip Rivers. Baker Mayfield at 19. Joe Burrow, 20. Kirk Cousins, 21. Teddy Bridgewater, 22. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 23. Jimmy Garoppolo, 24. Gardner Minshew, 25. Nick Foles, 26. Kyle Allen, 27. And then we get all the way to 28 before we get to Carson Wentz. The Eagles are front runners to win the NFC East at 3-4-1. Their performance has been mediocre as Wentz. He leads the NFL in interceptions 12 through week 8 and has taken a whopping 32 sacks behind a banged-up offensive line. He also had a career-worst 58.4 completion percent. It's becoming clear that Wentz is gushy behind such a porous offensive line. So, as we look at not only this, because we had, of course, guys that Colin, was right, to say that guys like Sam Darnold, he said, I'll take Sam Darnold over Dak Prescott. Right now, the Jets are in a position to draft a quarterback, and the quarterback who they probably want to draft, Trevor Lawrence, is probably thinking about staying back at school. So, 2 years in, Sam Darnold is out. Baker Mayfield, a guy people said, let's get Baker Mayfield. I'll take him over Dak. Would you really take him over Dak? Would you? Okay. Carson Wentz. I already said Carson Wentz, 12 for 12. Yeah. You've seen guys that are drafted number 1, like Josh Rosen, out the door. You've seen teams like the Bears move up for Mitch Trubisky, second string. You see teams like Washington that constantly are trying to find a quarterback. They got Kyle Allen, boom, he breaks his leg. Alex Smith, he broke his leg. They draft RG3. They draft Haskins. Still looking for a quarterback. You look at Denver. They got Drew Luck, and it's kind of like, yeah, not really. And you even look at the trade that the 49ers made for Jimmy Garoppolo. Word is that they're looking for a quarterback. Jared Goff, they're still kind of like, eh. So as we look around and we see how many great, even Lamar Jackson has kind of come back down to earth. And I don't think Lamar Jackson going to have to get better with passing the ball than running the football, because you can't make a living for that for too long as a quarterback. So as we look at this out here, how it is people think that it's automatically guaranteed that I take a quarterback and he'll be able to replace the production that you have. On top of it, you see the production that you had. Oh, let's get back to this, because this is where I forgot.
Oh.
This
How does it not?
There's a small correlation. I think it's more
Hold
of
on, I forgot about
discipline.
I don't.
Is the word I would use for it.
If you're telling me today a guy I can
Andy
roll with
Dalton,
for
he
5
has
years, I'm not going to deal with it.
I'm taking Dak also.
I'm not dealing with the nonsense.
It's not a wide margin, but I'm taking Dak.
All right.
Would you rather have Ben Roethlisberger or Dak?
Oh, Dak, yeah. I mean, Ben's 37. Ben's hurt. Yeah, I mean,
Not over his whole career. This is for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'd take. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Ben's
for the next 5 years,
37.
yeah.
He's hurt, and he's had accuracy. I think he's had declining accuracy issues. That's why when New England played him in Week 1 without AB, they just said, beat us on precision routes. He can't. He needs a big play receiver. He's a big play quarterback. But next 5 years, I'd take Dak.
All right, finally, you asked us to wait, so we're giving it to you again. Would you rather have Matt Ryan or Dak?
I would take Matt Ryan because with 2 to 3 different coordinators, he has clicked. And now he was better with Kyle Shanahan, but even last year with a new coordinator, he was like off the charts. I think Matt Ryan, not much of an athlete. He's a lot like Jared Goff. He needs a good offensive line. But last year they had a bad offensive line, and he still had 35 touchdown throws. So I don't want to live in the moment. As a precision thrower, pre-snap, Matt Ryan's a different level right now today than Dak Prescott. So it's Matt Ryan. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Okay, I thought they had Andy Dalton in that clip too, but in which case he took Andy Dalton over Dak Prescott. But my point being is this: if the last 3 weeks haven't showed you that you can't just plug in somebody in there that's going to be able to work with this great talent, if the last 3 weeks haven't showed you that Zeke Elliott isn't as effective without a great quarterback, then I don't know what to tell you. Then I guess I'm just preaching to a brick wall. But the reality is there are very few people who can do what Dak Prescott has been doing. And you are literally just rolling the damn dice, hoping that you're going to come through in the draft. And there's no guarantees on any of those guys. We see teams that have gone through drafting a quarterback in the first round, literally the next year or 2 years down the road, trying to draft again. They are looking for a quarterback. And if you don't think that Dak Prescott can get a gig, dudes, people will line up to try and get him. He will be. If Dak Prescott becomes a free agent because the Cowboys are too stupid to sign him, guarantee you he will by far and away be the biggest free agent in the history of football. But that's my take and that's my opinion. So, feel free to do with it as you may. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, appreciate you.